Ichabod is a traditional scale Breyer Model horse on the Fighting Stallion mold. He is a part of the Breyer Horse Halloween series released in 2015. There are only 2,500 made of Ichabod. Here you can see Ichabod in his original box, which is very cool in my opinion. I love all the cool Halloween designs that they did on this. Here is the Breyer logo, Ichabod's name, some cool pumpkins, and it glows in the dark as well. We will see more of how Ichabod glows in the dark in this video. And now we will move on to the back. And the back of the box, like most of the Halloween horses, has a little story about Ichabod. And one of my favorite things about the back of the box is this very subtle ghostly horse and figure that is on the bottom picture. I did not even notice this when I first got him until I came home with him, and I thought it was really cool that they added this ghost here, along with all these scary pumpkins with this greenish background. It all just looks very cool and spooky. So now let's actually take Ichabod out of his box. Now that he's out of the outer shell of the box, let's take a little look at the designs that are also on the back here, right behind Ichabod. You can see it's like a scary house on a hill with a big moon behind it, and some more of these really cool spooky pumpkins. Now let's take him out all the way. Here's Ichabod completely out of the box. He is very cool in this rearing pose. I personally really like this guy. I am a huge fan of the Halloween horses, and I think this one was a pretty cool design, I think, and very creatively done. One of my favorite things about him is his Appaloosa spots and how they're little skulls. Now we will look at Ichabod in closer detail. Here is his face, and he has a white blaze down his face, and there is a little bit of pinking on his nose. Both of his eyes are glossy black and white. He has very dark, pretty much black coloring on his neck and his head and on his mane. And this dark coloring fades into the white Appaloosa markings. His front legs are also this really dark color. And I really love the hooves on this model. His hooves are actually fairly well detailed for being a mass-produced model. His hooves actually have striping on them, and I think they look very cool. The bottoms of his hooves do not have as much detail as the sides of them, but I still think these hooves look very cool. And then he has the dark shading again on his back legs, and there is the Breyer Reeve stamp on the inside of his leg. And then the bottom of one of his hooves also has the VIN number. Now let's go more into detail on his Appaloosa markings, which have these really cool black stenciled skulls and black stenciled spots. And as you can see, they're actually very crisp and do not have that much overspray. I love that there were black specks splattered onto the Appaloosa markings. I think that gives it a bit more detail. Is especially present on Ichabod's flanks and shoulders. And I really like how these skulls are a little bit different sizes and how they change directions to kind of flow with the natural pattern that a real Appaloosa horse spots might have. And these skulls even go onto the horse's belly. These skulls made to look like Appaloosa spots are just really cool in my opinion. something a little bit different, and from far away they actually do kind of just look like spots instead of actually skulls. Now let's take a look at his tail. So you can see it is white and then it fades into this nice dark black color. And then on the bottom of his tail is actually the stamp that is in orange that says Halloween 2015. Normally this stamp is put on the horses' bellies for the Halloween horses and holiday horses, but this time they actually did it on the bottom of his tail, which is a little bit different. We're not used to seeing this from Breyer. And as mentioned earlier in the video, yes, Ichabod does glow in the dark. What glows is the actual plastic. It is a white plastic that is made to glow, just like how Nightmare from last year's Halloween Horse series glowed with the white markings. Ichabod is the same way. So the top of his tail, his haunches, his barrel, and his shoulders will all glow in the dark, and so will his face marking on his face. The best way to get him to glow in the dark is by taking him outside in the sun and then bringing him back into a dark room, and you will really see him glow. Overall, I really like Ichabod, the Halloween horse. Like I said before, I'm a huge fan of the Halloween horses, and I'm also a fan of the mold itself. The Fighting Stallion is a very classic Breyer mold, and I think it's fun that they used him again to be a Halloween horse. That is all for this review on the Breyer horse Ichabod. You can also check out my previous review done last year on the Breyer horse Nightmare. That was last year's Halloween horse. You can also see the review I did on the Breyer horse Halloween web specials, Jack and Casper. If you have any suggestions for models you would like to see reviewed in the future, let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe.